Hello students, in my previous video I have explained you the chapter 100 Dresses part 2 by L. Bossarester. Today let us continue with the same chapter. Now the Petronskis had gone, and along with them Maddie and Peggy's last chance to make amends too. In order to comfort herself, Peggy started saying that Wanda must have looked for drawing inspiration only after she started her dresses game. And hadn't she done that, Wanda would have never won the drawing competition. Maddie also tried to convince her after what Peggy said that if this is the case, she doesn't have to feel so bad. But later that night, she couldn't sleep as she was thinking constantly about Wanda's little house, her faded blue dress, both shabby but clean, and her glorious 100 dresses that were all lined up in the classroom instead of the closet. Finally, she sat in her bed and started thinking deeply, the hardest she had ever done. She pressed her forehead tight in her hands, which indicated that she was really trying to concentrate. After thinking so much and so deeply, she came to a conclusion that she will always stand against the wrong. She decided that she would never let anyone make fun of others because of their appearance, name, clothes, or where they come from. She would not shy to speak up against Peggy, even if it meant losing her friendship. She could not go in the past to make amends with Wanda, no matter how much she wanted to, but from now on, she is never going to let another person feel embarrassed or unhappy again. On Saturday, both of them sat together and decided to write a letter to Wanda telling her about the contest, asking her where she is living now and how that place is. No matter how much they wanted to apologize, they couldn't summon the courage to do so and thus ended up writing a friendly letter as if Wanda was their good friend. They mailed it to Boggins Heights with please forward written on it because they didn't know her new address. There was no reply from Wanda, but they didn't also receive the letter back. Thus, they concluded that it must have reached Wanda, but she was so upset that she didn't answer. They waited for weeks, but still no answer. Peggy began to forget about this whole thing while Maddie used to make scenarios in her head before sleeping where she defended Wanda. She thought of scenarios where large groups of girls surrounded Wanda and would ask her, how many dresses have you got? And as soon as anyone could say more, Wanda would interrupt and say, stop, so that all of them could end up ashamed. It was winter season and there was snow everywhere on the ground. Christmas had come. They decorated their classrooms with bells and a small tree. That day, Miss Mason told the students that she had received a letter from Wanda Petronsky. She is very happy to receive it because now she can send her the medal too. The letter began in a very friendly tone. Wanda asked how everyone was and that they could keep her 100 dresses because in her new house she has another lot of 100 dresses lined up in her closet. She specifically mentioned the dress she wanted Maddie and Peggy to take home. The green dress with red trimmings was for Peggy, while the blue one was for Maddie. She expressed her affection towards Miss Mason and wrote her new teacher could never replace Miss Mason. She winded up the letter by wishing everyone Merry Christmas and also wrote that she missed everyone in room number 13. It was Christmas season and all the houses were decorated. Grocery stores were stocked with Christmas trees, candy, peppermint sticks, and other Christmas stuff. The atmosphere was colorful and joyful. Maddie and Peggy took home the drawings very carefully. When Peggy realized that this gesture implied that Wanda liked them, they also assumed that she got their letter and everything was peaceful between them. Maddie, on the other hand, was quite sad because she would never be able to see that polished, tight lipped girl again. She would never get a chance to make amends. As soon as Maddie reached home, she displayed her drawing on that part of the wall from where her pink flowered wallpaper was slightly torn. Maddie's room was shabby too, but the drawing made it lively. She stared at the drawing constantly and thought how nice Wanda had been to them. While staring at the drawing Wanda had given her, Maddie's vision got blurred from tears. She rubbed her eyes and noticed that Wanda had actually drawn Maddie's face along with the dress. The colors of the dress were so bright and vibrant that the face was hardly visible. Maddie got excited and ran towards Peggy to check if she had noticed it too. As soon as she reached Peggy's house, she asked her for the picture. The drawing was lying upside down on the bed. Maddie raised it, and yes, it was Peggy in that drawing. Both were left in shock at the same time. Peggy exclaims that she was right about the thought that Wanda liked them. Maddie, whose eyes get filled with tears every time she recalled that scene where Wanda would look at the girls laughing at her, also agreed with Peggy. So I hope students you would have understood the chapter. Thank you.